What's going on, everybody? Last time we talked, we were getting into the postseason. Guess what? 17-18 season's already here. Chad, you had the pleasure, discomfort, okay, spending 2 weeks down in Florida, Worlds, as well as Summit. What was the postseason like?
Let me just tell you, exciting. There's so many words, they don't even touch what actually happened. I'm telling you, being down there and being a part of that with the Maryland Twisters program was amazing. There's no other way to describe it. Just sheerly amazing. Watching these athletes compete on the world stage and seeing not only the backing that they have nationwide.
Sure.
It was amazing. It was amazing. Just because, I mean, when they're in your gym, they're your kids. They're your kids. When they're out there, they're celebrities. They are who everybody looks to see. And, man, it's entertaining to be a part of it.
That's awesome. I think that, we had more top 5 finishes in the postseason than we really ever have before.
It was a great postseason.
Every team had their journey. We do, I think, want to give one shout out to our senior level 4 team, Sirens. They went in from the wild card. If you're familiar with anything with the Summit, you have to understand it is a less than 1% chance that these kids would have competed in the wild card division, gotten through prelims, into semis, and then make it into finals. Their final placement, I want to say they were, finished 5th?
5th.
Right? So for those girls and those coaches, tremendous job. Sometimes it's survive and advance. That's really what it's about. And that team was kind of a testament of what happened.
That team didn't give up. That team did not give up against all odds, getting a Summit bid a little bit later in the season, walking in as a wild card thinking we have to score a certain level to make it's do or die for them. It was do or die, and they did it 3 times in a row. 3 days, 3 performances, 3 times in a row that team did it. And, man, it was fun to watch. Because I'm telling you, those Sirens are entertaining.
Awesome. I think we also, give a huge shout-out to all the teams that hit 0. I mean, I saw more pins on backpacks after the postseason coming in for tumbling classes and privates. It was great to see.
Yep. Postseason hit zeros were through the roof. Worlds, Summit, every postseason thing we did, the hit zeros were through the roof. And when you can take a team, win, lose, or draw, and they go out there and do their job, and they do it that well, and come out with a hit 0, that's where it's at. Let me just go ahead and put it out there. Velocity, 2nd place. 2nd place at Summit. 2nd place, and we're talking by less than, I think it was 3 or 4 tenths of a point.
So how many years have we had Velocity?
The team itself, I'm not certain, but the team that we're talking about in Virginia was 1 year.
1 year, man.
1 year.
We've never had a junior restricted team.
Have we never?
No,
I didn't know if they had it up here before. Wow.
No. So for a first-year team to come out.
Oh my gosh, that's even more impressive. I knew they were a first-year Virginia team, but I thought, hey, maybe we've had that team before in Hanover somewhere else. First-year Virginia team comes out and gets 2nd at Summit by less than 4 tenths of a point. That's impressive. That's making a statement.
It's also the easiest way for a team to come back just full of fire.
Oh, absolutely.
Full of fire because they tasted it.
Oh, yeah.
It was right there.
Right there. Sitting 2 teams left on the awards. I went live. You didn't get to be there, but I went live and everybody got to see it. Super proud of that team. It was a lot of fun from start to finish. They were a fun group of kids. They were fun to watch. I'm telling you, who else did we end up taking down there? Cyclones and Supercells, right?
Supercells.
Yeah, and both of them had great performances, hit 0 performances, finishing a part of the top percentage of teams in the nation. Because even to get there, I mean, I think they announced it 100 times that you're a part of the top 5% to even get there.
The top 5%.
And then to go in the top 5 of the top 5%, oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That speaks volumes.
Now, let's not leave out, we also had Cobalt, Rain, F5, competing
Blackout.
the weekend. And Blackout, I'm
Blackout,
sorry.
yep.
And Blackout.
Like a first-year senior small co-ed team out of Virginia, and goes down to Worlds, cracks the top 15 in the world, crushes it. Those kids were respectful, hardworking. They were a team that came out hungry and wanted it, and I think they're going to come back out this year and want it even more.
Awesome. Team USA, did you get a chance to see them?
I did not. Unfortunately, I did not.
They did double ups. We're talking Team USA eventually, if you haven't heard, the Olympics, USASF, this all started, the main goal years ago was to how can we get the Olympics to buy into cheerleading. I think we're kind of at that point.
Oh, yeah.
So Team USA is going to be the representatives of, obviously United States. So they've been doing this for a couple of years now. There's a separate competition that's held the same weekend at Worlds. ICU.
Yep,
Ooh,
ICU.
ICU.
Yep.
Okay. And, they did double ups like it was a walk-in extension. We're talking one guy, one girl, spinning twice, catching,
Yep.
roots in the feet, not moving. I just want to give a shout out Team USA. You guys did great again, bringing home the gold. Both
Awesome.
the all-girl and the co-ed program.
Awesome.
Great job, everybody.
Shout out to Team USA.
You know what I can say is what I'm excited for, because we really never had this opportunity. You and I are too far away from ages cheering here. We've really never had, Worlds kind of, when we first started, it was, hey, you got to go compete down to Florida. Oh, you go to Florida. Oh, hey, that's great. And now it really has developed into something, right? So now, hey, you're going down for Worlds. But now you have generations of kids that are going to be able to look and say, I'm not only going to be able to represent my gym and my team and my family, but now I'm going to be able to represent my country.
Absolutely.
So I know for a fact we are training Olympic-bound athletes in our program.
Absolutely. 100%. And with our team setups and the abilities that these kids have and the talent level that these kids have, I am nothing but excited for the future of cheerleading. It is going to be something special.
Now, I know that when the coaches came back from the postseason, everybody was fired up.
Oh,
it was
absolutely.
almost like we wanted tryouts right away, get to the ideas, let's get to it, because it was just let's hit the ground running.
Yep. Creative teams. We got teams of individuals coming in here, posting. If we could show you the background of what's going on up here, it's just notes upon notes upon notes upon notes of ideas for next season, ideas of how we're going to run things, how we're going to do things, creativity in every category of the score sheet. You're looking at stunning, you're looking at tumbling, you're looking at floor movement, you're looking at dance, you're looking at jumps. How can we take every one of our athletes and make them the best that they can be within that level? And we've had teams working on that since before the postseason, but I'm telling you, it really, 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 really got some fuel with the postseason because it really re-inspired these coaches to get fired up, get back in here, and get ready for this season. 2017-2018 season is going to be phenomenal.
All right, let's transition right into it, right? 17-18 season. Coming back from 1 through 4 postseason, level 5 postseason, we said, okay, we're hungrier than top 5. We are proud of every team and everything they did last season, but we want more than top 5.
Taste the top 5 and tell me it's not going to make you want to taste number 1.
It's like when you go to that wedding and they have the cold, appetizers.
Yeah.
And then you get the hot appetizers, and they come around with that rack of lamb with the mint jelly on top, maybe a little, chive sour cream going, and then the duck confit. Oh my God! I mean, it is. It just goes.
The only people I know that could turn any conversation into food.
Listen, but when you know you're going to a wedding, and that is your appetizer, what are you excited for? What's coming for dinner?
Yeah.
Because it's not just about the appetizer. It's about the dinner.
That's right.
Getting there, okay? It's not just what you're doing at trials that we're excited for, but it's about getting on the floor as a team and competing.
And shutting it down. That's what we're hoping for. Teams that will go out there, be confident, be excited, love Maryland Twisters and the coaches, love each other, and really, really, really want to put everything they've got into what they're at that moment, because that's how teams are made.
I want to give a shout out, a lot of shout outs here today. I want to give a shout out to all the athletes that have bought into our program and are truly trusting the process.
Trust the training. Isn't that what? Wait.
Trust,
what this says?
Trust the training. Hold
Isn't
on
that
now.
what we got there?
We're doing
Trust the training?
Yeah, get down a little bit here. Scoot over a little bit. We can see it. Trust the training.
Can you see it?
Yeah, you're showing everyone your good side. Okay, there it is. All right, trust the training.
I don't care to show
What's happening is kids are doing that. And what do I mean by that? I know for a fact that we have kids that are throwing layouts. Okay? Maybe even throwing a special to layout. But I know that we have athletes that are in the gym where their standing tumbling is not where their running tumbling was.
Right.
Okay? So we have to balance the mix of what we're putting on the team and where the success can come from. And that's part of the evaluation process, looking at something past tumbling. Are they exceptional stunters?
Right.
Can they keep me in the air? I mean, probably not, but, you know, I
keep you in there.
Thanks. Episode 3, Coach Chad tossing Coach Mitchell to hands.
Double up. Right here it is.
Might be a bump and go live, I'm not sure. Okay. But you're having kids saying, you know what, it's not about being on a certain level for me.
It's not about me. It's about the program. It's about the team. Even though we do have, like you're saying, we have individualized approaches for every single kid. What is going to make you the best athlete? Yes, you may have one of those skills, like you were talking about from level 4, or maybe even 2. But do you want to be the one on the team with 1 or 2 while the other 19 or 20 or 25 on the team have all of it? Or would you rather strengthen your stunning skills and strengthen this and come back next year with a vengeance? That's what we're talking about, trust the training. Trust the training is we are going to train athletes to be the best that they can be. So if that's in level X, Y, or Z, it doesn't matter. You be the best athlete you can be. Trust the training because it will get you where you want to go.
So, there are a handful of analogies, and I think industry-wide you're seeing a lot of coaches going out there and getting on social media and talking about it.
Absolutely. This is not a topic that doesn't get talked about.
It's hard. I mean, we're talking about hopes and dreams for kids, and let's be honest, parents, y'all too. Okay, I mean, a lot of the stress can come from the parent wants this level, but we would need to be this level. But the kid's like, I want to be with my friends. I don't care what level I'm on.
I want to be with my friends. I want to have a good year. I want to be successful. Nobody wants to be set up to not be successful. Right? We want to be successful. All of us, in our jobs, in our lives, in everything we do, we want to be successful. And I think this year we set up our teams for success.
The biggest thing that I heard coming back from the postseason from the coaches was if you had a common denominator across the board, that you had elite level tumbling. So the highest tumbling skills possible within that level, whether it was we're not talking level 5 right now, but level 1 through level 4, okay, that those teams that were in the top 5 did not have the 75% rule. And the 75% rule being having elite level skills.
Right.
If you have a team of 20, 15 of those 20 have those skills. I think what we saw and what we track, because now we're looking at the analytics of it.
Absolutely.
That was really a 5%. Okay. Now, I can count to 8 a million times, but for me, 5% of 20, we're talking one athlete. So that's one athlete maybe per team that is not in that level.
Right. Everything else. We shot, at this year at tryouts, we shot for 100%. I promise you we shot for 100%. You've been in here, we've been in here, we've been shooting these down, putting these everywhere. There's tryout papers everywhere. We shot for 100%. Did we succeed? We'll see as the team placements come out. They should have already been out. This podcast is coming out. We should have team placements, and people should know where they are. And the success rate that we're going to have this year, to me, based on what you're saying, 95 to 100% of the athletes on the team are elite level appropriate. And we're only talking tumbling right now, right? I mean, we're just talking tumbling right now.
That's it.
You've got to think about, okay, if I've got to run a mile, let's just talk about this for a second. If I got to run a mile, I may be able to, like a jet, just put it out. But if I got to do a full workout, squats, leg presses, leg extensions, all these things, and then run a mile, my mile's going to be a little bit slower. Same exact thing with tumbling. Just because this is not all-star tumbling. This is all-star cheerleading. We bring it all. You got to stunt, jump, perform, tumble. There's so much you got to pack in 2 minutes and 30 seconds that if we can set you up to be the elite level, you don't have to worry about that drop-off. You understand what I'm saying? After I've done that, leg extensions and all those workouts and ran the mile for a while, my mile's going to get a little quicker. I'm going to be prepared to run the 2 miles or the 3 miles or however long I want to run. Same exact process we've got going on here. It can't just be about one tumbling pass or one thing. It's got to be about the athlete as a whole and the team as a whole. And I think that's where we're at right now.
So we're going to say it a different way. I'm going to go into a little different analogy that I heard the other day. And for me, I always try to think as if I'm a parent and I know nothing about cheerleading, right? How would I want my own daughter placed into it, right? She's in dance right now. She's 3. They want to move her up to next level class. I have no idea what that means. I know the wife was very excited about it. So the analogy I heard the other day was with karate, okay? And it was looking at elite tumbling as karate as a black belt. Okay. So now we're talking a team of 20 again, just for pretend here. Okay?
Right.
You have 20 black belts. The teams that you're going against are going to be comprised of members with their own color belts, right? So black belt being the highest level, right? And I'm sure there are for the karate aficionados. I'm not one of those guys.
No, that's all right. We're just going with an analysis.
But so we're going 20 black belts versus 10 black belts, 5 yellow belts, and 5 red belts. Right. So now if they're all of a sudden we're going back and forth and they're battling, it's going to be a lot easier for a black belt to overcome anything that a red belt would bring or a yellow belt would bring.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So now you've got the 10 on the team that you're talking about having to carry
a lot more responsibility.
Now the 20 over here are taking a deep breath going, this is easy because your 10 can't face my 20 being held back by the other 5 or the other 10, as you were saying, the red and yellow.
Now let's talk about cheerleading 15 years ago. You would have 1.
Oh yeah, it was
2,
a lot different.
Maybe 3 black belts on your team, and then you had a mix of everything else.
Absolutely.
You know, one of the things that really brought Twisters to the light of the cheer world was we've always been a powerhouse tumbling gym, right? And, you know, for years, I don't know if you can see the T-shirts, but this is a big season for us. 20 years we've been doing this, okay? 20 years. We're bringing that, not back like it's gone anywhere, but we're making sure it's an emphasis.
Absolutely.
That it's just not, oh, hey, you know, Susie, and not specifically anyone named Susie in the cheer world, we use Susie as a athlete
Jane
instead
Doe.
of an athlete. Jane Doe,
Yeah.
exactly, okay?
Yeah. Susie's our Jane Doe in the cheer world.
So Susie, you know, we want her to be maxed out as much as possible and feel that success and want to be, you know, hey, I've been in the back row or the back couple of rows or not in the front. Like, why haven't you been in the front? Let's talk about that. Is it your performance, right? We're trying to build these teams where everything is just locked and stocked, ready to go. It's
Absolutely.
a reload season, not a rebuild season.
Right. And I'm enjoying the analogy. I won't quote anybody offline, but it was a real quick one I want to give you. A gentleman online said, if you are worried about what level your athlete's going to make, take your athlete, duplicate them 20 times, and fill a team with only your athlete. Whether that's your child, whether that's your niece, nephew, whether that's just an athlete you're looking at. Let's take that athlete, duplicate them 20 times, and put them on the floor and say, how successful will that kid be? How successful will that team be? Because if we're sitting back looking and going, they've got one running tumbling pass, no standing tumbling for the level, they struggle to stunt the level, that team is set up to be unsuccessful. So, easiest way to do is to look at it, if I look at myself, I'm not the strongest tumbler. Very strong stunner, not a strong tumbler. If I duplicate myself 20 times, put myself out there, we're going to stunt the lights out. But our tumbling scores are going to be at the bottom of the range. You know, so we have done what we can with analytics, with the coaches' minds, with every input that we could physically put into this, separated these teams to be successful in all realms of cheerleading. And I'm super excited for this season. Virginia, over 200 athletes tried out. They've already had their team placements.
The one word that comes to mind is just growth.
Yes. 9 teams this season. Coaches are ecstatic to be a part of that gym, to be a part of that program. It is growing, it is thriving, and those coaches are hungry. And I don't discredit any Maryland Twisters coaches, because I'm telling you, I've been a part of this program for probably the shortest amount of time of anybody here. But I'm telling you, to watch a Maryland Twisters coach work it's like art. It's like somebody carving a sculpture. It's like somebody making a cake. And you've seen some of these cakes, man. I'm telling you, it's wild. But to see a Maryland Twisters coach in their element, that's what I'm looking for, in their element, it is something to see. It is truly something to see. And those Virginia coaches are on fire. Grew to 9 teams, got 2 Worlds teams down there. Got 2 Worlds teams.
2 Worlds teams.
2 Worlds teams down there this season. Super excited for that. All levels down there, all age ranges. Kids are being placed in the exact same protocol that we're being placed in Hanover. We're using the same protocol system. We're using the same coaching system. Everything that we can duplicate in both locations is being duplicated, because we really feel that this process is going to set every team up for success. The elite level tumbling, elite level stunning, being the best athlete that you can be, and a part of a program that is ready for you to succeed.
It's awesome as a staff when we sit down and we start hammering these teams out, that everyone has the same methodology on how we're picking these teams and where the success goes. I mean, prior to this, we didn't know who we were picking. When these teams are being made, the coaches don't know who they're coaching yet.
No.
So this is a blind, honest.
Yeah. So when I place somebody on a team, because I'm like, this athlete is a perfect level 3 candidate, I'm not grabbing that athlete to be selfish and say, I want that athlete on my team. I'm putting that athlete on a team that I have no idea who's going to coach it. I don't have a clue, but I want to set that coach up for success.
Sure.
I want to set that team up for success, and I definitely want to set that athlete up for success.
It's really the most important thing, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
because at the end of the day, these guys, these athletes and families are committing to the program, committing to us, committing to the team, and really committing to themselves.
Absolutely.
So, we never want an athlete to feel bad about themselves and what they're doing or what they're not doing while they're in the routine or a part of the team, right? We want everyone to, I always use the analogy. I always say, when I start coaching a team, as soon as the team realizes and starts rowing with me on a boat, and we're rowing, and I'm not the only one rowing, watch out. Watch out. I mean, it's not Noah's Ark, but we're doing it, man. We're doing it.
Getting there and building that team and taking that team through a successful season, in my opinion, win, lose, or draw. Not about jackets. It's not about rings. It's not about what we sell it up to be. Getting that team to be a unit, to hit 0, to grow as individuals, those are the keys to success for me. You are going to be successful if those are your goals. If my goal is to make that athlete the best person that they can be, to teach them some life lessons, to drive them to be the best they can be no matter what they do. If they're a star tumbler, if they're a star stunner, if they're an all-around athlete, no matter what, if I can teach them the work ethic and the drive to do that, that's a successful season. And I think last year's season, these kids came back hungry for this season because they saw that in our coaches. They saw our coaches care about where they went next and what they did and how they did it and how they learned to do it. And I think that has been the backbone of Maryland Twisters, and is going to continue to be the backbone of Maryland Twisters season this upcoming season. I really am excited to see these kids grow another year.
Do want to give a shout out to our graduating seniors that have decided to bring on their cheer career where they're going to school. So that means that from an all-star perspective, they most likely will not be cheering for us.
Absolutely.
But want to give a shout out to all those kids that have made the teams across the country. We're proud of you. Thank you for the effort you put in the gym, and we hope that you continue, and everything that you brought for us, you bring to your new squad.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because those things that we were talking about just a minute ago about being a leader and the things that you learn in All-Star, it translates over to school and then being a part of a team and having to go to school and focus on your career and your future. All-Stars in general, and this is me speaking for everybody that's watching this, if you're a part of All-Stars in general, that goal should be everybody's focus, because that athlete making it through college, making it through their job interview, making it through a career, making goal-oriented choices in their lives is the key.
I mean, look, you go to a desk job, you graduate college or you get out of high school, you go right into a job. As a cheerleader, you've already had someone tell you, you already understand constructive criticism.
Yes.
You've already internalized it. You've already been able to realize, hey, I'm not taking this personal. They're trying to make me better. So now when I go into the workforce, no matter what I'm doing, any aspect, the amount of men and women, both, that have made the decision to go and serve our country or go and be a police officer somewhere, I think it speaks volumes to the type of people that come in to cheer from that, right? I mean, you're talking about complete dedication to the team concept, right? And putting someone else before you, just like a base. I say all the time, you know, when a flyer falls, you know, and it does happen, you want to try to keep everyone as safe as possible.
Absolutely.
Right?
Safety's
Sometimes
on the
what you'll have is, and I totally get it, self-preservation. A kid's coming down and then the kid covers themselves. And the first thing that I say is, if that athlete was putting you up and you were the one flying, I would be having the same conversation with them.
Absolutely.
You got to make sure you take care of your own. You got to make sure these are your teammates, these are going to be your brothers, these are going to be your sisters, however, what type of family dynamic you want to look at. But at the end of the day, it's the family dynamic, right?
Yep.
So
you have to put others first. Yeah.
Right.
You have to put others first. And I want to take a side note to thank all of our servicemen and women, the police officers putting their lives on the line. When he said that, it really just hit home that you know, we have a lot of athletes that actually come from All-Star Cheer and go into that. And they make that their careers, they make that their lives, and because of the team aspect and the things that they learn in All-Stars, they choose that course of for their life and for their career. And I just wanted to take a moment out of Twisted Talk here from us. Thank you to all of our servicemen and women. I'm thinking the tryout process went well. I'm excited.
I just want to get practicing, man.
I think every coach feels the same way you do. I really do. I've talked to these coaches personally, each and every one of them, and I swear the same resounding statement. I'm just ready to get started. I'm ready to get started. I'm excited for this team, and I'm ready to get started.
I saw on Facebook one of our coaches that worked with some half-year teams that are now going into a full-year team. Oh my gosh, I haven't really coached cheerleading. I've only done tumbling since, December. It's like, look, man, you're gonna get more cheer. You got one more week, and then you
better take your week
summer and make sure that you want it. You got it.
Yeah, it's coming because it's funny that we talked about the postseason at the beginning of the podcast. So we talked about the postseason, and it's really funny that we're already into this season. Like this is All-Star Cheer. This is how it goes. It's like postseason finished. Meanwhile, you got back office people that before the postseason even starts are working on tryouts, are working on next season, are working on locations and coaching and all of these things. So it never really ends. And that's what I love about cheerleading. It's something that is constantly moving. Constantly, it's there. It's like gravity. It just never goes away. The All-Star season never goes away. And I love it. I love my job. I don't know about you, but I love my job.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome. To have an impact on kids' lives for the positive, right? For the change,
Yep.
Right? Doesn't get any better than that, man. It really doesn't. And I think that every coach, you don't coach cheerleading because you can make $1 million doing it, right? You don't coach cheerleading. You don't give the hours dedicated to it outside of the practice for any type of monetary thing, right? You got to find how you're getting paid and how you're doing this, because it's a long season. It's a long season for everyone.
Oh,
the parents, the kids, the coaches.
Absolutely.
But somehow, we're cheerleaders, and you got a fourth quarter. Your team's still playing. They're on the field. Well, guess what? You're high kicking, throwing in pom-poms up as hard as you can. I know we don't have the pom-poms here in cheer anymore.
Right. We eliminated that in All-Star.
In the All-Star cheer.
Yeah.
Almost want to give a thanks for that. But, it is... I feel like next podcast, we're talking about our first competition. I know it's not there yet, and we're not even in June. We're still in May. But that's how, stunt camps are coming, choreography's coming, random choreography, showcase. Showcase? Good God.
That's when it starts getting stressful. We already start talking about showcase. So, a couple of quick housekeeping things. We've got the gym's going to be closed for Memorial Day weekend. We've got emails coming out from the coaches to the teams. We're going to have parent meetings. All of this stuff, stay tuned. Scheduling's going to be coming out to you. These are things that we 100% feel are a necessity to a successful season. Being prepped, knowing who your team reps are, knowing who your coaches are, getting to know the process at Maryland Twisters. We have multiple emails, info@marylandtwisters.com. My email's chadg@marylandtwisters.com. Terry Curley's got an email. We've got all the managers have emails, and we're ready to answer your questions and to help guide you through this season. Super excited. Very, 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 very large numbers of athletes. We haven't even talked about the fact that it's 600 athletes.
Yeah, we had 600. 600 came by to get evaluated.
Yeah.
And again, the same process that we did here in Maryland, we did in Virginia, right? We're not rewriting the wheel. We're not doing something different. We're talking about the same common denominators, both locations. It's happening. Passionate coaches, parents that are behind us, kids that are believing in what we're doing, kids that are, ready to bring it, right? Because we're ready to push, but we need those athletes to be ready to be pushed.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. This is all-star cheerleading. You talked about constructive criticism. We've already talked about the things that all-star cheerleading builds you to be. Eat your Wheaties, drink your Gatorade, get your water, get ready to go, because this season we're going to take it further than we've ever taken it before. I'm excited. Twisted Talk will be around all season long. We'll be throwing these out randomly, once a month, as often as we can, to be honest with you. It depends on big things, right?
We appreciate all the feedback that we've gotten from it.
I loved it.
I had multiple parents stop me in the gym and just say, hey, thank you. Want you guys to continue to listen. Make sure you subscribe to the Twisters YouTube channel.
Absolutely. All of our Twisted Talk, all of our little informational videos and things like that will be on the Twisters YouTube channel. If you go to marylandtwisters.com, there is a YouTube link that will take you to our channel. Make sure you subscribe. Keep up with us. Sometimes we get a little long-winded. It happens. We get together and start talking cheer. You get two coaches from anywhere across the nation together. You don't even need a camera. You don't even need a recording device. You get two coaches together. They're going to talk cheer for a while. We enjoy talking cheer. We hope we covered everything that you guys were questioning. The tryout process was phenomenal and amazing. 600 athletes eval'd. Both locations are excited. Got passionate coaches. I'm super excited for the 17-18 season.
Okay, this week's password. You got to come up to Coach Mitch or Coach Chad, and you got to give us the password. Hold on one second. We're going to figure out what the password is.
What are you thinking? Talk Twisted. Let's reverse it. Let's say this week's password is Talk Twisted.
I think it's got to be like talk Twisted, and then you got to do something. So Talk Twisted, just jump in a circle.
Okay. Give us a jump. Give us a toe touch.
You know what? A jump of your choice.
A jump of your choice. Come up to Coach Mitchell, Coach Chad. We're gonna. I think what we should do is just keep a list. We keep a list of kids' names. Maybe give you a shout out on the next Twisted Talk. Come up to us, talk Twisted, and then show us your best jump, and see what we're gonna do there. Write your name down. Get some info from you. Maybe flash it up on the screen. Maybe mention you at the next Twisted Talk. We're going to keep these things exciting. We want you to subscribe. We want you to tell your friends. Share it, like it, post it on social media, tell people about it. We're excited to be your co-hosts. Chad Greenhill, Ryan Mitchell, Super excited to host Twisted Talk and to be a part of the Maryland Twisters program, like all of our coaches are. Give a big shout out to Tara Kane for allowing us to do this. Tara Kane Raw. Always got to correct myself there. Sorry.
Maybe I like it raw. Maybe I like it raw. That great song. All right, guys. We'll catch you later. Have a
Twisted
great weekend.
Talk. Have a good weekend. Hey.